Ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all or good evening. You are once again welcome here on the Tribune of Awakening Consciousness. So, this is the headline of international news. While Emmanuel Macron dons his war leader attire, as he is currently in Brussels, attending this extraordinary summit of the 27 European Union countries, to establish a plan and a strong European army to drive Russia out of their borders, while Emmanuel Macron fights with all his heart and soul to ensure that Europe, NATO, and America consider Russia as the enemy to be countered. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is staying out of it. The Biden administration is not listening to them. I told you here last time that this decision by Donald Trump, the decree he issued to suspend all American military aid to Ukraine, was highly strategic. I had explained to you. Here is the continuation. Donald Trump suspended military aid. He stopped the provision of intelligence information that everyone was sharing, all things that made it easier for Ukrainian soldiers on the front line. Donald Trump stopped everything. As we speak, things are heating up on the front line. We have seen some realities of the front line. So, right at this moment as we are speaking, the announcement was made last night, Tuesday, and Wednesday, March 5th, 2025, by the White House spokesperson, who confirmed that at the moment she was speaking, discussions between Ukraine and America had already begun. So, we have two situations in front of us. In the context of this video conference, dear ladies and gentlemen, this is of course what we are going to talk about. But before continuing, I ask you to share this video conference as much as possible. Share it in all possible groups. Give it a lot of likes. This is what gives the video conference enough visibility. And all those who are not yet subscribed, please subscribe. There you go. Please subscribe. Also invite your friends to subscribe. Since we need to stay informed, we African youth, if they are not informed, we will make decisions randomly. Completely. We need to have the right information well decrypted. That's why I ask you to share the video conference. Give it lots of likes. Let's dive deeper. According to official information, the United States of America is discussing with Ukraine the possibility of reaching an agreement on minerals. This is the priority of the United States of America. If the agreement on minerals is reached, the other agreement for a ceasefire will be automatic. So, the statement was made by Caroline Leavitt, the White House spokesperson, during a press briefing this Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. So these discussions are taking place right now, the spokesperson stated, in response to a question about the timeline for when the agreement might be signed. After the American president received a message from Vladimir Zelensky stating that Kiev was ready to reach an agreement. And on the question of the message, do you see how many times Europe doesn't like Ukraine's happiness? It must be said, it must be reiterated. Donald Trump, during his speech before the Congress that we discussed together here, he clearly announced that he received the letter from Kiev from Zelensky, which said that Zelensky was ready to negotiate again. He announced, here is Emmanuel Macron and others. Who enters Zelensky's mind? His spokesperson comes out to deny, to say no. Ukraine never sent any letters. No letter ever existed. But that the information is real, except that it was posted on the Twitter network, the X network. So, there were no letters, but there was a message to that effect from Zelensky. Why come? Contradict? It's because, by the way, the American administration, they don't have a big heart. Otherwise, it's yet another lack of respect. You have expressed your intention. They have validated and say they have received the letter. It's a letter. It's the same thing, even if it's not a written letter, but you have posted Let's go into the depths. So, the spokesperson says that the American administration is also reviewing the funding of aid to Kiev. They are in the process of reviewing. The National Security Council, therefore from the White House, told me about this, that they had suspended and would review the funding for Ukraine. That's the White House spokesperson speaking. She specified that she was talking about a suspension for review. So, the financial aid has been suspended to allow for a review. Meanwhile, Emmanuel Macron, who is currently in Brussels, as we are speaking, we will also see what will come out of this famous Brussels meeting. We will come to present the information. We will decipher it, dissect it, as we know very well how to do. So, Emmanuel Macron, after his speech, where he positions himself as a war leader, after a survey, we have 65% of the French who oppose sending soldiers to Ukraine. This is according to a survey by the Institute, CSA, broadcast by the channel CNews. So, conversely, 35% of respondents are in favor of soldiers from their country participating in a mission in Ukraine. 60% are opposed. So not even half of his population is in his mind, since the French are fed up with Emmanuel Macron's governance. They are fed up. Many are in favor of Donald Trump's idea. We need to put an end to this conflict. We need to give the world the peace that the world needs and deserves. So, what needs to be said already? Emmanuel Macron, in addition to the fact that he is fighting like this, his struggle will go nowhere. Since when we take, for example, Germany, which is the second largest supporter of Ukraine after the United States of America, Germany has announced that its capabilities regarding the delivery of weapons to Ukraine and its reserves of weapons are depleted. It has nothing left. Germany says it has nothing left. And this has been said by Germany since 2024. So, in the new revitalization, the rearmament of Europe, the renewed assistance that Europe must provide to Ukraine, under the leadership of France, of Emmanuel Macron, we have other countries that are withdrawing their support. So, in addition to Emmanuel Macron's own populations dissociating themselves, we have other countries in Europe dissociating themselves. So, here is the statement made by Germany. The natural limit has been reached because it is about strengthening Europe's defense in the current new context and in cooperation with other countries to ensure their advantageous position. The statement was made during a press briefing by the spokesperson of the German Ministry of Defense, asked about the possibility of new arms deliveries such as Patriot air defense systems to Kiev. So, here is the truth. America has started the negotiations. Europe is always sidelined. This doesn't say much to Emmanuel Macron to allow or push him to change his mind. He continues to sink while his own friends are withdrawing. Here is, unfortunately, the sad reality. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the headline news. Thank you all for your shares, your comments, your likes. Thank you for subscribing. Invite your friends to subscribe to the page. I will be back shortly, by the grace of God, the Almighty, with new updates. That was the voice of your one and only samurai.